Hello, so welcome back. Today we're going to talk about another type of structure. This is called repetitions or loops here. Sometimes we may heard about iterations, repetition, or loops. So let's take a look at how it works. So first you have to check the conditions here. Condition is say while P is true. When P is true, then it's going to keep doing the loop over and over again until it's false, so it's exit. Okay. An example could be the following flowchart example. So we want to write a program to find an average of 10 numbers and print out. So the program start get the numbers. After get numbers, we start to add numbers. And we keep checking, are we adding 10 numbers yet? So we go back and get the numbers and add second, third numbers, fourth number until we get to 10. Then we finish the loop and go to divide by 10 and print the average. So that's how the flowchart look like. Now we're going to write this program in Eclipse. Okay. So first I'm going to bring up Eclipse. Project name average. Okay. Maybe find average. Create new class. So I'm going to name the class as average. Click main. Alright, so we have the average class. Alright, so now in Java we have three types of loop. Okay, we have for. So let's talk about loop. First type is for. Syntax of the for loop is going to be for int I equals to 0. So the key concept about the loops. Okay, so whenever you want to use the loop, you need to initialize it. So we try to initialize the counters, the numbers, how many times it's going to be, and we like to name it as I and give it to 0. Okay, so that's the first key point. So the second key is you have to put the condition. Now the condition is going to be I less than 10 because we want to find average of 10 numbers. And last key is do the increment. Okay, increment by 1 in this case. 1, that means 1 I plus plus. So I plus plus just means you increment the I by 1. So this is like a counter. You initialize to 0. After you execute the statement that we're going to write down here, which we're going to need to read in the number and add the numbers in here according to the loop here. Get the numbers and add numbers in the loop. And then we're going to increment I until it's equals to 10, which already 10 times. Let's exit the loop. And after exit the loop, we're going to divide by 10 and print the average. So we're going to name average. equals sum divided by 10 because 10 numbers, and then we're going to print the average. Now what should be an average data type? We need to declare an average, and in Eclipse you can create local variable average. When you click, it's going to add for you, which in this case we want it to be double, because we can see that average can have 8 decimal numbers. Now we're going to create a sum. Alright, sum, let's say we're going to give it as number double 2, because we can sum, and input could be a decimal numbers in this case. So I'm going to declare at the beginning here. Now we need to create a scanner to read in input from the user, which is from the keyboard. Alright, so we're going to import the scanner to use, and we're going to say sum plus equals. So sum plus equal is just like sum equals to sum plus the input that I'm going to have in right from the user, which is the input we have it from keyboard dot next double, because we declare the sum as double. So it's going to add and increment it and keep looping and add until we set add numbers, which we keep adding, but we need to read in the number to add, which is from here, keyboard next double, which is get numbers and add the number. So we did that in one line here. Now let's see, scanner equals to new. We're missing the keyword new here, and you need to initialize your variables to 0 here, because we want to add from accumulating from 0 and so on. So that's how we use loop, and this is the first type of loop we call for. So let's run Java application. So now it's waiting for me to enter the numbers. So let me enter number. Alright, so after I entered 10 numbers, so it's just give me an average. So that's one way to do the for loop. Okay. Now, it's not a bad idea if you want to prompt the user with the statements. Enter 10 numbers. Okay. And if you like to apply the delimiters, then don't have to put a new line every time. Use spaces. You can do so. And we have done this exercise already. Now, I want to show you the second type of loop. So this is called for. The second type of loop we call while. Okay, so let me just going to create a new class here and show you the average with the while. So we can use while loop. Okay, so pretty much going to change the code. Instead of using for, I'm going to say while. So it's same. So when you use loop, you need to initialize, but the syntax is going to be different. So for while, you need to initialize in like outside, okay, not in the parentheses. It's the same, just say in I equal to 0 while, now put the condition. So condition, just write next to the while statement. Okay, while I less than 10, first is going to do the sum, and then we do the increment at the end, right there, inside the loop. So pretty much the same, right? Initialize first, and then condition in parentheses, and do increment by 1 right there. So that should be it. They are going to be the same output. You can pretty much either use for loop or while, so that's no difference here. I want to make sure that we're running from the while, average while. So I'm going to just put the parentheses, then we know we're running from this one, otherwise look just like right there. So to make sure that you run the right program, you normally just right click and run as, and go to Java application. So let's see an average of 10 numbers. So if I put them all 5, so the average should be 5. Alright, so now last type of loop in Java. This is called do while. Okay, so we talk about for loop, while loop, and this is, and we'll call average do. Okay, so this is do while loop. So it's pretty much going to be the same. Initialize first. Okay, now instead of putting the while right here, we're going to say you do. It's pretty much going to do the statement first. Okay, and then just say while at the end. Right, so initialize I equal to 0. Start to do the loop, increment it, and if it's less than 10, we're going to do it. Now, this type of loop is going to do the statement once. Doesn't matter that the condition is going to be true or false. Not like while means if it's not meeting this condition, it will never get to do this. But for the do, you do it once and then you check condition later. So that's the difference, right? So for while and for is pretty much the same. If the condition never meet, then it will never do statement inside the loop. Alright, so now let's run the program and check. Let me just reverse this to do while type. Okay, make sure I said do while. So this is called do while loop. And this is the third type. Alright, so we do initialize first. Okay, for this type, you pretty much do the increment. Okay, increment pretty much just right after statement by 1 before you actually check for the condition. Okay, so that's the difference. Just go check the condition later. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So still 10 numbers the same, and the average is 5.5. Alright, so hopefully this video can help you understand the concept of loop here. And next video we're going to talk about special case. Alright, thank you for watching.